Hi, everyone, and welcome to Everything Under the Moon. I am your host tonight. My name is Becky McKitty-Guidison, and along with me tonight is my co-host, Kyrra. How are you doing tonight?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you tonight, Becky?
I'm hanging in there. I'm laughing because of the fact that we had issues getting on. It's like StreamYard or something acted up on my end and like did things that it's never done before. And our producer Stan was having some issues. And right before he goes to put us on air, one of my earrings fell out.
Oh, geez,
So I'm
all
like
the things
trying badly
happening.
to find my earring and I can't find it, but I found a staple on my floor.
Oh,
So it's one of those nights, I guess. So let's pray everything goes well and we're good and
hmm
no more problems.
yeah,
But I'm
no,
like, it's just one of those nights, apparently. Things are going haywire and that's crazy.
yeah, that's so
But
funny. I was gonna
yeah, go
say
ahead.
like your tech and Stan's tech. I was like, my tech's fine, and I look over and my freaking desk lamp is like flickering, like
I
so
see
bad.
it.
You can see it. There's literally like nothing touching it, and I don't know what's going on. But that's my tech issue tonight.
We're having all kinds of issues tonight. And I'm not sure if we should blame that on our guest or not, because she made that comment before we went.
That is my Monday luck. Anything technical, that is my luck. So I have to laugh a little bit inside. I'm like, I'm wondering
You
about
know what's
that
funny
today.
is it's usually me that has that. It's like usually I'm the one that causes technical issues. So to have someone else do it for once, yay, it's not me. No offense.
Yay! It's both of us.
It must be two of us
Well, thank you
together.
for
Who
having me on
knows?
tonight.
That's why it's the extra.
Right?
It's us. We're doing it. Well, I'm going to go ahead and let you introduce yourself and let everyone know where you are from and are you there?
Ooh, I think we froze there for a second there. Okay. So I'm Ting with American Ghost Adventures. I'm the founder of the ghost tour company here in Orlando, Florida.
Ooh.
So yeah, we bring a lot of sunshine to the paranormal world.
Orlando. I've been to Orlando twice, but basically for Disney World.
That's what everybody comes here for, pretty much. Yep. Next month it'll be because of Universal Studios, the Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh,
So
yes.
yeah,
So
we're the
fun.
theme
Hasn't that
park
already
capital of the
started?
world. It's already started. It started in August.
In
They get
August.
Oh,
earlier,
wow,
earlier,
yeah.
every
Earlier, don't
year.
they?
Yeah, I mean, all our
Wow.
stores here have all the Halloween stuff up already in August. So they do have that summer wing thing going on, and so like all the stores, like
That's
late July, early August, they already had it all up and going. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that summer ween thing that they have going on. Actually, I started seeing like ghost stuff in stores, and I'm like, yay!
Same.
I was loving it. I was like, okay, it's never too early for Halloween, in my opinion. I'm like, I can go for Halloween all the time. Now, Christmas is another story. I don't like seeing Christmas until after Thanksgiving, but
Gotcha.
that's just me.
Gotcha.
Halloween can go all year round.
Yeah,
Halloween,
Halloween
I
all
think,
year
is
is a lifestyle, right? It's definitely a lifestyle.
yes, it is. I definitely agree with that. And I there's no stress with Halloween. I mean, there is for our businesses, ghost tours, but other than that, you don't have to worry about going and buying gifts and you don't have to worry about
Right.
the stress of where did all my money go? Oh yeah, and all the Christmas gifts. Oh,
Yeah, and all the broken
Halloween,
stuff fits in. All the misfit stuff works.
yeah, you just get, a bunch of candy and what's left you eat and, problem solved.
That's it.
And I love decorating for Halloween. I'm not a gory horror person, but we do try to be a little bit scary with our stuff in the house, well, outside of the house. And we do like our whole front yard as a graveyard. And I love getting in the Halloween spirit. It's like one of my favorite things to do. I love Halloween. And I get
That
so
is
happy
cool.
seeing it in the stores. And I don't like the horror stuff though, which is funny. I don't go for that. And I don't go for the
We
fake
have that in
haunted.
common. Yep, we have that in common. I like the happy ghost. I used to get made fun of all the time. And nowadays it's all happy ghosts. I'm like, see, I was just ahead of my time. And
Yeah,
then
I've never.
here in Florida though, here in Florida, we can't really decorate the outside because of all the rain, hurricane season. The grass is continually growing. So I am envious of people that live like up north where, it's starting to be breezy. The leaves are changing colors and all that stuff. You guys get all that,
Well,
spookiness and, all the
we don't
cool
get
weather. But here in Florida, we don't get that.
we really don't get that in Arizona, but we do get to where, we don't have to worry about rain or anything.
No hurricanes for us, thankfully.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's one headed our way right now. So, we don't try to decorate too much. I mean, it's because as soon as we decorate, we got to run out there and pull everything back in again. And then as the hurricane's done, then we put it back out again. And then they tell us there's another one. So it's kind of like, we'll avoid the outside. So.
Yeah, I haven't even had like a drop of rain and I don't even know how long here. So.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah, it's been raining here every day for the last 2 weeks.
No,
So
we've I know, Kyrra, I know you've had some storms up your way because she's in Mason, I'm in Tucson. But every time we had all those warnings for the rain, and it would like rain completely around me, my house, nothing. It's like I live under an umbrella, I swear. We have not had like any rain. And I'm like sitting here going, can it rain? Can it rain? No, we haven't had anything at the house. The other day we were out, I forget where we went, but there was like storm clouds everywhere, lightning everywhere. Not a drop of rain at my house. Like 15 minutes away from us, apparently it poured, but nothing at my house.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, bring some rain. So yeah, I don't have to worry about that at least.
That's good. Yeah, the theme parks, we kid around that the theme parks have like a dome over them. So, they have perfect weather. So like you just said, it storms all the way around, but never there. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to Disney World twice. One time was in October. And I know it was hurricane season, so we were like a little worried about that, but we didn't get anything. The other time we went was, I want to say end of May, 1st of June. And we were actually supposed to expect rain like every day. We were there and it rained one day when we were already outside of the park. So it wasn't a concern. And then on the day we came home, it poured down rain to where our flight was delayed. But it did not rain at all while we were in the theme parks.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. That force field again. Up.
That dome. Yeah.
Yeah.
That must be nice to have that kind of money to build a dome. Yeah. Well, apparently I have one, but I want to make it go away.
They just need to air condition all that area. That'd be perfect. Perfect time to come to Florida, I would say, would be of course, the cooler winter months, especially if people are from up north, like Canada and the Northeast or any upper northern states. I would not advise them to come down for the summer months. It's just, I tell them, you guys have snowstorms and blizzards in Florida, and I'm sure Arizona can understand this. We have heat waves, and you want to avoid the heat waves. We don't go outside, just like you guys don't do that in the blizzards, because that's what I ask them. I go, what do you guys do in a blizzard? They're like, we stay indoors. And I'm like, well, in Florida, we have heat waves, and that's what we do, stay indoors.
Yeah, that's what we do
So
in
I
Arizona.
don't recommend
if anyone leaves their houses between May and May.
Yeah.
No, May and May. I think we have what?
Ours would be, let's say, late April to maybe November. Our September and Octobers are pretty hot still. It's pretty hot.
Yeah, we're still in the 90s out here right now.
At
least it's not 100. I'm like, yay, no hundreds. But yeah.
Yeah, ours is like a sauna. You guys at least have the dry heat. The only unfortunate thing about that is that you don't know you're burning. But here you just sweat to death. You walk outside, you're like, all right, I have frizzy hair. Yep, that's it. That's the humidity right there. It's a sauna.
Yeah.
Opened all my pores up. Thank you. That was from the front door to the car.
I remember, well, I'm originally from Ohio. So our summers had that humidity like what you guys get in Florida and everything. And I remember every time I would go back to Ohio during the summer, or even when I went to Florida, don't even bother to do my hair. It's just puffy.
That's it. It's very puffy, full.
Yes. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, that was kind of worthless. But with the dry heat, though, it's like baking. You're in an oven. You're like, It's like you step
Yeah.
out and you feel like you're in an oven. You felt like, you're in the
Mhm.
475-degree oven baking cookies and you're the cookie. Uh,
Yep, so it
I'm
does feel that
done.
way. Oh, yeah.
you're like, yep, I'm done. Time to go back in.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
gingerbread cookie is done.
Pardon me?
I said the gingerbread cookie is done now.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. I hate the summer months out here because our electric bill is so freaking high.
Yes.
It's like every summer month we have like the least amount on the electric bill is like $350 because
Ooh,
you're
that's
constantly running that air conditioning. And like right now I turned mine up so I wouldn't hear it the whole time and I'm like hot and I'm like, okay, it's a little too warm to have it up right now, but I'm waiting for the cooler months. I want the cooler months.
Mhm.
yeah. Our electric bill is pretty high. It's close to 500. Yeah. Because
Yeah,
it's
the last one I
constantly.
paid was like 400 and something and I'm like, oh my goodness. And I
It's
have a
crazy.
habit of I turn up the air to try to get the electric, bill down, and my husband will come behind me and turn it back down. I'm like, I'm trying to get the electric bill down, but yeah, it's a little too hot still. I'm like, it'll be nice when we don't have to have it, but I think we
Right?
only not run the air like a couple months during the year, and other
Yeah.
than that, it's on.
Yeah. Yeah.
People, in other places, don't get that.
Correct. Correct.
But we do, don't we?
Mhm.
All right, I'm going to take off this other earring because it's bugging me not having the other one in. I'm like, okay, that's just, yeah. So I want to go ahead and usually we like draw random questions and ask random questions for the first part of the show. But being in Florida, I have so many questions about Florida because I've like thought about moving to Florida and my husband, I don't think is for it. And I think it's because of basically the hurricanes and the humidity and stuff. So do you actually live in Orlando or like one of the subsections of Florida?
So I used to live in downtown Orlando,
Okay.
right in downtown. I lived there up to about 16 years ago, and then I moved further north. So I live in between Orlando and Daytona Beach.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm about 30 to 45 minutes outside of Orlando North, near the St. Johns River and stuff like that. If you know where Sanford is in that area. So
Okay.
Sanford Delta area. So I'm about, like I said, 30 to 45 minutes from downtown Orlando now. We moved up that way 16, 17 years ago because of the housing market and stuff like that. It was cheaper to move outside the city limits of Orlando. So our kids could ride their bikes, their dogs could run in the yard and stuff like that. So we moved out further north. So, but all our tours are in that downtown Orlando area.
Okay. Is traffic pretty bad out there?
Traffic is horrible. Traffic is absolutely
Horrible.
horrible. That was one of the reasons why we moved further north and outside of the Orlando area. I work it takes me about an hour to go to work. So I work out by the theme parks. So I do work out in the, tourist area and stuff like that. My husband and I are both first responders. And so
Okay.
we don't want to do the crowds. So like I said, we moved further north so that we wouldn't have to deal with the tourist traffic and the crowds and stuff like that. And like I said, so the animals and kids can have fun outside and outdoors.
Right. Do you have to worry about alligators?
You do. I'm going to say
Do you
yes, you
really?
do. Yep, you do. There's wild alligators anywhere. Like I was talking about the St. Johns River. That's one of the rivers that has lots of alligators in it. Basically, it is true. We tell tourists if you see a body of water, check it. Make sure
Yeah.
there's not an alligator in it. Swimming pools have alligators in it. We've run calls where there's alligators in different spots and stuff like that. So yes,
Oh, wow.
it is a thing. It is a thing. I've seen alligators in fountains, and
Oh my
sewage
goodness.
pipes and stuff like that. They travel through that kind of stuff. They don't really bother you for the most part. They're afraid of you as much as you are afraid of them, unless somebody's been feeding them for the most part. But
Right.
yeah, they're all over Florida. I mean, it's swampland, so it is
Right.
this is their natural habitat, and we're starting to build houses in their habitat. So if you see them, yeah. I mean, it's just
Yeah,
like
of
any wild
course.
animal anywhere. I tell people, I mean, they we're destroying their environment. If that makes any
Right.
sense. You know,
Yeah, you
so if
move
they
into
your
their home.
yard, yeah, if they cross your yard, it's because they have nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
So just share your space with them. Yep.
Yeah.
Alligators, like I said, will stay away from you. As soon as you move towards them, they'll run away for the most part.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
I had an uncle one time that went to visit, I guess it was cousins. I can't even remember. But he said that he went to sleep on like the front porch of the house for some reason, and he woke up and there was like an alligator next to him. And I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you sleep on a front porch knowing there's alligators? I'm like, that would probably have freaked me out so bad, but I mean, he survived it and he lived to
Yeah.
tell about it. So
right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
I'm like,
it's
that's just
it's an
crazy.
interesting. Yeah, we say Florida is the Australia of the United States. Everything wants to eat you, bite you, and pretty much, it's interesting animals down here for sure. But I think
Yeah.
we've grown up here, so it's natural to us. We just know what to beware of. You know what I mean? Like you don't agitate them during breeding season. You don't purposely go out and try to um, pester them, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean?
Right.
You
Yeah.
respect
Oh,
their
yeah.
space, and they'll respect your space.
Right. Well, that's good to know. Okay. What about bugs?
Hmm.
I need to know about bugs.
Lots
I
of them.
hate bugs.
Lots of bugs. I
Lots of
am
bugs.
terrified of the palmetto bug. The palmetto bug is a cockroach that can fly.
Oh,
Ugh.
ew,
I
ew,
do
ew.
not like suckers. I do not like them. I do. I've actually pushed people out of the way to get out of the way. So I don't like those.
That sounds like something I
I
would
don't
do.
like,
Mhm.
yeah, almost every bug here I don't pretty much like. I mean, you get mosquitoes, it's called Mosquito County at one point in time because of all the mosquitoes here. We have what we call no-see-ums, which are tiny, tiny little bugs near the beach areas, and they just bite you, and you can't really
Ew.
see them. Hence the name no-see-ums. So they do leave little red marks on you and stuff like that. And then, of course, we have the Spanish moss in the trees, and tourists love to grab those and put it on their hair and wear them as little Spaniard beards and stuff like that. But they have chinch bugs in them. So don't
Ew.
touch those, you know. Let's see what other bugs we have. I'm not thinking of. Like I said, the palmetto bugs are the biggest ones. We have spiders everywhere, you know. Yeah,
I
we
guess
have plenty of bugs.
the main
We're
question is
subtropical.
how many of them are poisonous? Because out here, a lot of our stuff is poisonous.
I mean, I guess if you get the right type of mosquito, right, they cause malaria and all that kind of stuff. So we do
Right.
have those mosquitoes. They test for that. Um, if you're allergic to bees, I mean, we have lots of bees and pollens and flowers because we're subtropical. So
Yeah.
those are dangerous. Um, yeah, I mean, there's some dangerous bugs out here. I mean, but again, if you're just, the brown recluses and, stuff like that, those spiders are dangerous. I want to say use common sense. Use common
Right.
sense for the most part. And you're
Right.
going to be okay. We bug spray the outside of our house. So we try to keep them out. Our rule is bugs stay outside, we'll stay inside, and we'll be okay. Wear bug
Yeah.
sprays at nightfall. And I think the cities have done a really good job. Like I've never been bitten by a mosquito in downtown Orlando where I do tours. I don't notice
Oh,
them.
that's good.
Down at Disney, if you think about it, when you go to Disney, you don't see mosquitoes
Yeah,
around you.
I know that's funny because I
They're in the
am
middle of
like
swamp.
I'm the mosquitoes like main food source. Mosquitoes
Oh,
love me.
same.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, and I guess they say it deals with your blood type. There's certain blood types that they like more. Apparently, I don't know, but whenever I go to Disney, yeah, I never get bit by anything, and I'm out until the park closes, and I'm always like, that is so cool. I want what they have.
Correct. Correct. They do a lot of spraying and stuff like that. They do a lot of pest control and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So the
I'm
city of
like,
Orlando and all the city areas are really, really good. Where I live, because I live further north and we're out in the rural area, there's a lot of mosquitoes. There's a lot of mosquitoes. So we have a lot of bug sprays by the front doors and stuff like that to ward them
yeah,
off and stuff like that. Yeah. After dusk, we tell everybody to get inside. A lot of Florida houses, if you take a look at it, have screen porches to keep the
yeah,
mosquitoes out. So,
that's a smart
yeah.
idea. Yeah, definitely. Well, I don't know if I can ever convince my husband to go there, but I one day I'm planning on leaving Arizona. I want a different scenery, I guess. I've had enough of the desert life. I had
Okay.
enough of baking, during the summer. So
Yeah.
maybe one day. That's my goal. We talked about Texas. I know Texas would be hot too, but so would Florida. But here's the thing. After living in Arizona for so long, I don't think I could move anywhere where it gets cold because then I would probably freeze to death. Because when it gets below like 60 here, I'm freezing. So if I go anywhere that goes anywhere below, zero, yeah, I'm going to die probably.
It's good for, like short spurts. Does that make sense? Like, you're right. We've lived in subtropical areas our entire lives. My
Yeah,
son wants to move up north. He wants to live in snow. And I go, babe, that is because you want to visit it. It sounds nice, but to work and live it and have to shovel it, I'm pretty sure it's not a lot of fun. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Um, yeah. I mean, half the people honestly would not live in Florida if we didn't have air conditioning. That's
right.
including
Very
myself.
true.
If we didn't have air conditioning, I would not live in Florida. I would not choose this place. It is brutally hot, you know.
Yeah.
It's really bad. So like I said, like because we're first responders, we run a lot of heat exhaustion calls a lot of time.
Oh,
And
I
it's
bet.
because they're not used to the heat and the humidity and how hot it is. And, their blood is too thick, or if you want to, because people say that once you move to like hot places, your blood
Hmm.
thins. I guess that's going to be true because, like you just said, once it drops below 60, even 70
Yeah, I'm
sometimes,
freezing.
you're
Yeah. And I'm from
you're cold.
Ohio. And I lived, the first part of my life in Toledo, Ohio. And I would be outside playing when it was like below zero. It didn't bother me when I was a kid. I was used to the cold. And then, after being out here, I went back to Ohio one time during the spring and it was like 50, 60, whatever. Everyone's like, oh my God, it's so nice. They're like bringing out their summer clothes, and they're walking around in like shorts and, short sleeves. And I'm there with like my jacket going burr, burr. And they're like looking at me like, are you crazy? And I'm like, I just came from 100-degree weather. So this is cold. Yeah.
Right,
But I literally got
right.
looked at like I was crazy, but when I lived there, yeah, I would be outside playing in the snow. We had a blizzard. I
Yeah.
went outside after the blizzard and played in the snow.
Yep.
Didn't bother
And I
me
mean, that's
then.
why, like in our area for Halloween and stuff like that, we don't wear masks. You'll wear face paint and stuff like that. And if anything like that, you watch the movies like E.T. and stuff like that in the north, and they're wearing these big, gigantic, fuzzy stuff. You're like, nope, can't do that here in Florida. And you'll sweat yourself off on that. By the time you're like stripping clothes off, you're in your bathing suit, like ready to go swimming now.
Yeah,
So yeah, costumes here are definitely a lot thinner, if you want to say
yeah,
we call it
right.
Florida wear.
It's funny
I
that you
can't even
bring up
imagine Halloween.
Halloween costumes because I remember when I was little, they were very flimsy. Like they were basically just plastic that you put over your clothes, and they had the little mask to them. Those old fashioned
Correct.
costumes. And even in
Hmm.
Ohio, though, those plastic masks, you would sweat in those. I hated wearing those things. By the end of the
Exactly.
night, I'm just going around in the little plastic thing that's over your clothes.
That's what I'm saying. So in Florida, it's the same way. So the minimum cool, you know what I mean, costumes are going to work down here, but not the big fuzzy full outfits that
Yeah.
just never work.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, the way costumes are going nowadays, the tinier the better.
Yeah.
It's like I see some of these, Halloween costumes, especially with some of the teenagers, and I'm like, where's the rest of it?
I think that's been every at time, right? It's
Yeah,
just I guess an excuse to be skimpy.
yeah,
You know,
yep. That's
girls need to be like,
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's so funny because, costumes now, there's just so many different characters and stuff. And there'll be people that come to my door and I'm like, what are you? I don't even know what you're supposed to be.
right, right, exactly. Yeah. Do you guys allow costumes on your tours?
Yes. I don't honestly, I don't give my tours anymore. I have employees that give them. Um, as far as I know, they dress up. I know I have one that really dresses up. I don't know if they get people that dress up that come. Um, I do all the ghost hunts because I run ghost hunts and ghost tours. So I take care of the ghost hunts, and I have 2 employees that take care of the ghost tours. So
That's
I
cool.
haven't actually given a walking tour in I don't know how long. And the last walking tour I gave was basically I had a ghost host that had um, she had someone figure out she didn't get hurt or anything, but she did have to call the cops because they like threw a rock at her
Woo.
the tail light thing, and so I went downtown to make sure she was okay, and I ended up giving the tour, and I swear I couldn't remember half of it. So bad, and I'm like, I'm the one that even wrote it, and
Yeah,
I
you're
couldn't.
like, I brought.
Like, this is so sad, but I hadn't given it in so long that and I'm horrible with dates. When it comes to remembering, what date something happened, I'm horrible remembering those things. So when I was like giving my tour, I'm trying to read my notes real quick. Okay, yeah, this was the date. Oh yeah, this is. I remember the like stories that I have personally, gone through and had because we've investigated pretty much every single building except for I think 1 or 2 of them on our tour. So I remember my stories and what I've experienced. So that's not the issue. It's the other stuff that I can't remember.
Understood. Yeah, I don't think people remember dates anyways, so
Yeah.
I generalize them. I still do the ghost tours themselves so that I can basically see what my guides are going through. So
Mm-hmm.
I do. So if they don't want to do it, I'll go out down there and I'll do the tour just to make sure that, like you said, so I don't forget things and, just see what obstacles that they're encountering, stuff like that. Um,
Right.
we've been doing it for 21 years. And
Oh,
we do the
wow.
ghost hunts also. Yeah, we do the ghost hunts also. We had those also. But our tours are a little bit of history, ghost stories, and ghost hunts all at the same time. So
Oh,
we have our 2 hour one. So it's a little mixture of all that. So it's what we call a sampler tour. And that will intrigue them enough to do our 4 hour tours, which are basically all investigations.
oh, wow.
So
Okay.
it's just a little sample for them to taste and experience and to see if they like our style of investigating because everybody has their own style. And so we
Right.
do that sample just to get them an idea of what we do. And I think that's also setting us apart from our competition in the area. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
So
lot of competition out there nowadays.
there's a lot in our area. And of course, October's coming up. So there's going to be a lot of pop up ones also.
Mm-hmm.
I tell people I do not advertise anymore in October. I really do not spend the money because every attraction has just inundated the area with Halloween stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we have the largest Halloween party in the United States, Halloween Horror Nights. So
Right.
we capture some of that overflow when people go to the Halloween Horror Nights and then they look up ghost tours in the area. And we used to get all of it, but now we have to kind of split it with a couple of other companies in the area, which is kind of disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's reality. And like I said, every theme park does it. SeaWorld does it. Busch Gardens does it. Disney does it. And so, like I said, it's just almost overdone, you know, to where it's, yeah, even Gatorland's doing it, you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
So everybody has a little bit of into it now.
Right.
We were cool before the cool kids came along.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. I've only
Exactly.
been doing mine for 12 years. But when I started, I was like, I know you have the theme parks to compete with. I don't have that. But when I started, I was the only ghost tour around basically. And then I had like a couple come in and they ended up leaving. But now I have a couple that aren't leaving and you
Uh
know
huh.
I'm like they're not
Yep.
leaving. I won't say anything, but they cause some issues here and there. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about, but
Change.
yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
And
it's disappointing. It is very, very disappointing. It is very
yeah.
disappointing. And it's disheartening. Um, we make sure our employees or, our tour guides make sure that they have their shirts on, that advertise our names. And we have our hand fans that we do what we call the fan parade so that people know that they are, and the biggest thing we make sure that people know in our advertisement is that we've been here the longest and
Mhm.
that we're going inside buildings. We're going inside. We're going inside. And so I watch their guests always look at us and I always wave to them. Hey, a little more money, just a little more. And they come inside with us time. kind of thing. And I tell my guests that with us, I said, thank you for supporting local. Thank you.
Yes,
And
exactly.
and I teach people, how do you know it's local? And the answer to that is when they don't tell you that they're in 150 cities.
Yeah.
Yep.
If they're in 150
Yep.
cities, they're not local. Just
Yeah.
FYI.
Oh, yeah.
So when you go to other cities and you see that advertisement, go with somebody else. I said they purposely will um, name themselves closely to the original tours in the area. So
Mm-hmm.
support the mom and pop places. Look for the little guys, and you guys will make a difference. And you guys will get the authentic history for the area, not AI
Exactly.
written or stolen.
Exactly. Yeah. The other
That's how
ones
we.
that have moved in, basically, they started using Tucson Ghost Tour, which is what I have been using for 12 years. And, they just moved on in, used that, and it started confusing a ton of people.
Hmm.
And I'm just
Absolutely.
like, it's frustrating, and I haven't gone on any of the other people's tours, but I've heard stories about how they steal from you or they use AI to write the stuff. So
I've
I'm
had
like,
their
that's
employees
so
tell me.
frustrating.
I've had their employees tell me that there is no training. There is
That's
no training. They just tell you to go on the other tour. So
that,
guess who the other tour is,
yeah,
right?
the local
But
ones.
it's okay. I mean, yeah. So it is disheartening at the same time. I just
Right.
wish people would read, you know. And the other disadvantage we have is that, like you said, we have, people go, I don't mind competition. Let me say
Right.
that. Okay. Not
Yes.
mind competition. I have Disney, Universal, SeaWorld. Those are all, I deal with the big boys. I mean, they
Right.
have deeper pockets than anybody else. And so when another ghost tour company comes in, that doesn't matter to me. As long as you play by the rules, pay the same
Exactly.
taxes I have to pay. You know what I mean? Advertise and do your own work. Then I'm fine with it. But I've actually caught one of our other competition on my tour and then
Mm.
open up a couple weeks and, don't lie to me. I have your
Same exact
reservation
stuff.
right here. You know what I mean? And that was another
Right.
mom and pop place that did that. And I was just
Oh,
like,
yikes.
listen, there's no excuse for that. If you were not trying to be deceiving, you would have announced yourself and said hello. And I would have treated you the same. See what I'm saying? Treated you the same either way. So
Right.
do your own work, have your own
Yep.
tour, and may the best person win at that point. Because look
Right.
at places like New Orleans, Savannah, Key West, you know, St. Augustine, Charleston. They all have multiple companies there, and they can all survive,
Yeah, exactly.
right? But they all play well together for the most part. You do
Right.
what you need to do. I'll do what I need to do. Don't copy my name. Don't copy my stuff. Don't, trample on my stories,
Right.
and we're fine.
Yeah,
I mean, we used
exactly.
to recommend certain other ghost tour companies. When we can't handle it, we'll go, hey, go to this one instead. And that's
Right.
called friendly competition. But when you purposely deceive, lie, and stuff like that, then I have nothing for you at
Right.
that point. I have nothing for you. You
Yeah.
know,
And these, this other company, I've heard a lot of bad things. Like I said, I haven't really checked them out, but not only with ghost tour stuff, but they do other stuff that I hear is really bad too. And one of the reasons why I've been trying to do these podcasts, and I've been focusing on people like you and myself who have the local company, because we need to let people know, do your research. If you're going somewhere, why don't you rather talk to someone who's local that literally does the research and knows the story, over someone that is just
makes
kind
it
of
up.
there, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make a buck. We're here because this is our passion. This is something we've worked really hard on, and we spent a lot of time and money into this. I know I did a rebrand because of this, so it's not that I mind the competition. It's the fact that they come in, they take my name and apparently my stories. I'm going to do a rebrand, and I'm making it all personal now. And if any of these stories get out, then for sure they're stealing my stuff, because it's everything I've
Yeah.
experienced.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
see, I know that they're targeting us. I'm one of the
yes,
targets for sure. I think of the
I've
name.
heard that. Yes.
Yeah. So I met this person years ago, and they said to me, "I like the name of your company." And then 5 years later, I'm like, that's interesting, right? I didn't think anything of it. And like I said, I like competition. Just like you, we have to rebrand. It keeps you on your toes. It keeps you moving. It
Right.
keeps the creativity flowing. So I like that part of it. But just play
Right.
fair.
Yeah.
As far as reviews go, you're collectively doing 150 cities. So yeah, your reviews look like 12,000 versus my 1,200. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? That's unfair practices too.
Yeah.
It's almost like, well, let's say every small group, every small mom and pop, let's all combine our reviews together, and now we have 23,000 versus your, 12. But we
Right.
don't do that. We all, we play fair. We collectively do for our little areas. So there's even small cities that I'm in that are around the Orlando area that most people have never even heard of. You guys are from somewhere else. Have you guys ever heard of Winter Garden? A
I
city called
haven't.
Winter. Correct. Have you guys ever heard of a place called DeLand? No, right? New Smyrna Beach? Nope. But now, if I told you a Florida city by the name of Daytona Beach, have you guys heard of that?
Yeah, of course.
Mhm.
See, Winter Park, which is a high ritzy area. Those are big names, bigger cities than the other ones that I announced. Yet, my national competitors are in the small markets instead of the bigger markets because those smaller markets is where I'm at. You see what I'm saying? So that's how I know I'm being targeted. So if you're going to have a ghost tour to do money wise, Daytona Beach would be one of the best ones to be because it's what? World famous. It is a big city, right? You see what I'm saying? Yet you're not there. And it's because I'm not there.
Yeah.
So I know you're targeting me. So it's shameful. It's shameful.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's one of the reasons that, I always I even changed my website, and I have a page on my website of other local tours. If you're not in Tucson, but you're looking for another local ghost tour, go, look up these. I probably, need to update it. It was just something quick I put together, but it, it's sad because this other company basically is all over Google too.
oh yeah,
And
they're
it
an
makes,
internet.
the
An
mom
internet.
harder to find. I know my tour is harder to find now too,
Mhm.
because they're up there high on Google, and it's just, I don't know. I feel so sad, and it's not just for me, but for all the other companies like you, because I know we pour our heart and soul in this. I know we rebrand, we work hard, because of the fact that, like you said, we don't mind the competition, but we want to keep up. We want to be the best. We want to do better. And still, you know, they just come and move on in and do what they do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the paranormal world, the ghost work world has changed quite a bit. Everything now, like I said, is AI. For some reason, everybody's in it. Every tourist attraction has a Halloween themed event. So it
Mhm.
does water it down quite a bit. But for us, it is a lifestyle. Does that make sense? I know you guys would understand because you guys run other ghost tour companies and stuff like that. When the bedazzles of Halloween is done and the candy's put up and the leaves are blown away, and people are thinking Christmas and all that, we're still thinking ghosts. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Oh,
New
yeah.
Year's comes along. We're still thinking ghosts.
Yep.
Valentine's Day. We're still thinking ghosts.
Mhm.
Oh,
Spring,
we can totally
summer.
skip Valentine's Day for sure.
You see what I'm saying? We're always thinking ghosts, whereas
Yeah.
people are just very simple about it and stuff like that. I mean, we put out a little flyer. We'll be probably putting it out here in the next couple of weeks, where helping people how to figure out which ghost tour to go on.
Hmm.
If they're looking for gore, I tell them we're not it. We're not it. Please spend the extra money and go to Halloween Horror Nights. Go ahead and spend the extra money. If you're looking for jump scares, you're looking for a haunted house, you need to go to Halloween Horror Nights. Don't
Right.
even jerk around. Just spend the extra money. Go get your entertainment that way. That's who we recommend for jump scares and Halloween Horror Nights and any kind of gore. That's it.
All right.
If you're looking to learn history, you want to see what's in downtown Orlando, where the natives go, what bars are the coolest and stuff like that, then yeah, we're gonna be able to help you out. we're going to talk about the history. We're going to talk about some of the firsthand ghost stories and stuff like that. And then our
Right.
mini investigations, if you understand that we can't produce the, paranormal activity, then we're for you. And for the
Right.
most part, October is a bittersweet month. We'll get our worst reviews in October because, again, even though I tell them we're not a jump scare business, they'll go, it wasn't scary at all. Nobody scared me. There was no scary,
You're like, that's not what this
we go
is
to the
about.
cemetery. Yeah, we go to the cemetery. If you read some of my reviews, they're hilarious. We didn't get to see anything at night. Yes, because I call every single individual reservation for our cemetery tours to let them know, please understand, we're not going to run through the cemetery. We're not running around. We're not going to be
Right.
digging up graves. We're not going to be
I would
stepping on
hope
the
not.
Yeah.
people are ridiculous. And I tell them, and they'll go, well, we can't see anything. Yeah, there's no streetlights in a cemetery. It's dark. That's the whole point of it. Well, we can't step on the graves. Could step on the
No.
graves and you could step on the grass, but when you break your ankle, you're going to blame me. So my answer to you is going to be no, we're going to stay on the pavement. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, this is not
Yeah.
what you pay for. No, it's in the description. It's also when I called you. Of course, then I'll get my 1-star review because I was mean. I didn't let them look at, the headstones, you know, all this ridiculous stuff. We didn't perform a voodoo ritual out there in the graveyard or something. People have ideas in their heads that I cannot control sometimes.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
October is bittersweet. I mean, we've had families come. I remember this one guy, he had his wife, either his mom or her mom, who was older, and 3 kids that they didn't bring a stroller for.
Oh,
They hadn't
jeez.
eaten yet, hadn't had dinner yet. And I even said, can I go ahead and refund you? Can you go ahead and take the tour money that you had spent on us? I'm going to refund it right now to you and go have dinner with your family. Go have a night out. Go grab dinner. I don't think this is going to work out well for you. It is a walking tour and you didn't bring a stroller. You're already holding one of them and it's a 2-hour walk. You know what I mean? It's a very leisurely 2-hour walk. But I'm trying to give him the hint that, listen, the kid's are already grouchy. Your wife is not happy at all. Your mother-in-law or mom is having to carry this 5-year-old. He probably weighs 40, 50 pounds. So you guys are going to be switching back and forth.
Yeah.
You're not going to have a good time. You're going to ruin it for everybody else on the tour also.
Right.
Nope. Proud ego moment. Nope. We're going on this ghost tour. And you can see it. They left me 3 or 4 bad reviews because each adult, and of course he used a different email to write me a bad review. That it was boring. They were tired. We didn't see any ghosts. All that stuff. Yeah.
You can't make the ghost come out.
That's what I was gonna say. I love that people are always like, "Well, I didn't see anything." It's like, do you think it's just like on demand, like on the movies, for like, okay,
Yeah.
and we summon you or whatever? It's like not how it
I
works
love it when
at
they say
all.
that. I go, if I can produce a ghost right now for you, you wouldn't pay that admission. You'll be paying at least $100.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's FYI, you'll be paying a lot more money if I could get them to come out on cue like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
we wish,
yeah.
but you can't. Kyrra is actually, she's an investigator like I am. She's on my team and she's also my historian. So for the next like 10 minutes that we have left, I'm going to let her ask you a bunch of questions because I know she's probably got a ton of history questions for you.
Go for
So
it.
go ahead and take it away, Kyrra.
Yeah. So I think what I would like to ask, kind of like, what is your favorite like history, like story? As you've like done the history for your tour and everything. What's the kind of like a standout story that you like to tell on your tour for one of like, your buildings or something?
So our tours are not scripted, to be honest with you. So
Okay.
each of my tour guides, so we don't have a set route. So we have so many buildings in downtown only that we have partner up with. So like if one tour guide, if there's a street parade or something going on, they're able to dodge to another street and go to a different place. Mine is going to be a neighborhood brothel. And one of the spirits that we've dealt with for many years, his name is Maximilian. He is the caretaker of this little neighborhood brothel, and he has actually protected the living also at the same time. I had one guy who was, I call him the brawny man. I mean, he's really tall, has the mustache, He's a construction worker wearing the yellow boots and everything, big, tall, burly guy. And he's trying out for the tour guide position. And I said, okay, come on our tour. And we're in this location. It is now an Irish bar. And all of a sudden, he's walking across the room, and it's a nice open, wide area, and he trips. And I'm sitting there telling the story, and he trips in front of me, and he looks at me, and he giggles, and he goes, "Who just pushed me?" And I go, "Nobody pushed you. Look around you. There's nobody here to push you. You're walking in the middle of the floor." I go, "Maybe you tripped on your big boots." And he goes, "No, I didn't trip on my boots. I felt hands on me." And I said, "Well, it wasn't any of us, because if you look around you again, there's nobody near you." And he looks at me, he goes, "I don't know how you did it, but that was kind of cool." You know what I mean? But Maximilian, like I said, is the caretaker of the brothel and stuff like that. That was a red flag to me. That was a really big red flag. So when I went home, I pulled the guy's application and I ran a background check on him, because it was, like I said, he was just shadowing to see if he even liked the tour, if he could do it, and if he's not too scared. And I will tell you, we pulled up his background check, and he was wanted for domestic violence against his wife.
Oh, jeez.
So my ghost friend, the protector, shoved him to let me know this guy's no good, because that raised a real red flag for me. So that's one of my favorite stories when we go into that location. So we always say, "Thanks, Maximilian. Thanks for watching out for us." So even in death, he's looking out after the women in the bar.
That's cool. That is very cool.
I always like when
So
you
we,
have like that and you can like be like, okay, and then it makes sense. Like when you think later on for that. So that's really cool.
yeah. And in our tours also, we love the fact that we can connect people with their deceased loved ones or family sometimes. I mean, we have emotional breakdowns. We're like, okay, now we're psychologists. Now we're going to help you work through this. And most of our guides now have been with us long enough, and we've done enough tours where we can almost feel out who's in there. So our buildings are commercial, so it changes every night. There are some staple ghosts that are there, like Maximilian himself, but there's ghosts that wander in and out of these buildings every night. So when we do the investigation, we don't assume that it's going to be one of our regular ghosts. So that's one of the things I teach my guides and I teach my investigators. Do not tell a ghost story yet. Do your investigation, ask the same questions over and over, and see who has joined you tonight. Out of 21 years, I realized that, guests bring their own ghosts. That brings a whole new element. Sometimes when I shake their hand to say hello to them, I can feel their, what do you call it, loved ones standing right behind them. And I'll tell them, I go, do you want to see a ghost? And they'll like, sometimes they'll go yes, sometimes they say no, but it's almost 100% of the time if I go, "Do you want to see your guardian angel?" They're like, "Yes, absolutely." And so they, at that point, we do the investigation. We find out one of the family members is with them. So it brings a whole new perspective to these people. So we're not just the ghost tour, but they remember us for connecting their loved ones with them. So that's why we're called ghost ambassadors. So if you look at our names and stuff like that on our website, we're not hunters, we're not anything like that. We're ghost ambassadors. We're introducing the living to the dead to the living again. So it's kind of nice. So we have a tier system with our tour guides. They're the guardians of the ghosts at first, and then they become ghost ambassadors, and then they become investigators. So there's a tier steps where they go through this transformation. So I love hiring skeptics because I love seeing the transformation come through. So it's kind of neat.
Yeah, that's cool. I I just I think you definitely have something original. I definitely think people should check you out. And can you tell people where to book your tours? Do you have a website, phone number,
Yeah,
whatever
our website is
the tours?
AmericanGhostAdventures.com. And then our phone number, of course, is going to be 407-256-6225. And we still answer our phones. So, yeah, we have one of our tour guides. They will pick up the phone. One of us will answer it and book you at the same time. But if you don't like talking to anybody, our website is going to be the easiest. Again, it's AmericanGhostAdventures.com. And you can book right online also. We're open pretty much almost every day. And if my tour guide's available, they'll work holidays also. So we don't have a set schedule, if that makes any sense. We
Okay.
can customize tours. So that's the other advantage we have. If we have a tour guide available and you want to go out at 10 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning, we'll try to make it happen. So we have that flexibility with the number of partnerships we have in the downtown Orlando area. And we're mobile, so we can go to their location also. So that's the other cool thing about the investigations is our equipment is mobile and we'll come up and we'll see you. So people have hired us for bus tours. Their, birthday parties where they go, do you think our house is haunted? And I go, I'm pretty sure if your house is not haunted, some of your guests will be bringing their own ghosts, and we can definitely talk to them at that point in time. So it's kind of neat. So we can go pretty much anywhere people want us to go. So it's kind of cool.
Very cool. Well, the next time I go to Orlando, of course, it'll be Disney World, but I'll still try to check you out. I'm like, of course I'm going to do Disney, but.
Yeah, you know what? There's actually quite a few of us. There's some of us right there on the other side of Disney near Tampa. So we have ghost tours out that way. Not us personally, but some of them that are in a group. And then you have Winter Haven. Amanda, she runs the food stores and ghost stores down there. And then Orlando is only 30 minutes away from Disney. So downtown, and that's us. So there's a whole bunch of tours right around you in that area that are in our, professional ghost tour guide page. So you'll be supporting a lot of the local people. And it's always good to put a face with a name also. So when I travel, I try to meet up with the people in our group and stuff like that. And I've traveled the East Coast all the way up to Maine and made my stops and made some really good friends along the way that way.
Yeah.
And I think next year in January. In January, I think we're doing the Galveston tours. If you guys can make it there, it's a good meetup. It's a good place to put a name with a face and get ideas and stuff like that. That's something that the corporate companies can't do. You know what I mean? Right. You're making friends for life. And I think this is going to be our 4th year doing it. And it's a lot of fun. We just, go to dinner together. We go ghost hunting together. We get to walk their tours with them and give them pointers and stuff like that. As a tourist, this is what I would think. Or, hey, how can we do this or not? Maybe that'll bring you a different revenue. So it's kind of cool. It's like hanging out with your best friends and stuff like that. So if you guys can make it to Galveston, I would definitely do so for the next one.
Yeah, I've seen that post because I know we're both part of a Facebook group, that supports, supporting local ghost tours. And I saw that post in there, but I don't really honestly spend that much time on Facebook anymore. I go check my messages and do what I have to do and get off. So I haven't really seen any updates on it. So.
That is a time warp. It's definitely a time warp for sure. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a few of us a handful of us that have gone to every single one of them. We started in Orlando. We went to Richmond over to Memphis. And then from Memphis, we're going to Galveston. And then we're hoping to hit somewhere else on the West Coast out that way, work our way up north and back over to the East Coast again. So that way everybody in the group has part of the region and can travel to one of those. And I mean, it is a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun. We get to learn a lot and we bring, a different perspective to each location. So that's the cool part of it. It is team building for sure.
That's always a good thing.
Kyrra, you have any other questions? You have any other questions for your investigations and stuff like that?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, we're out of time. So we want to thank you so much for being our guest tonight. We really enjoyed it. I loved getting the information about Florida.
No worries. You can always call me. We'll give you the true opinion. Florida's not for everybody, but yeah, we'll give you the inside scoop for it for sure.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping.
Well, thank you guys. You guys have a good night.
Yeah, and hopefully I'm hoping to get out to Florida sometime in 2026, fingers crossed, and if I do, I'll definitely give you a call.
Please do. Thank you guys.
All right, thank you. Have a wonderful night.
Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, so it is that time, Kyrra. That hour went by fast tonight.
I know.
It went really fast. I know when I get off there, I'm going to have to try to find my other earring before my cat find it and eat it.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here and I'm trying to keep it together tonight. And my cat decides to be up on my printer tonight and knocks over my little zero. I was like, please don't land right in front of the camera, but it didn't. It landed off to the side. But I
There
was
you
like,
go.
please. He's cute. He moves around and he does music.
Oh, I love that. They're so cute.
Something. There he goes.
I love it.
Yeah, so I'm not a big Nightmare Before Christmas fan, but I love Zero. He's a ghost dog. What is there
Yeah,
not to
exactly. It's like, what is there to not like? Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not a huge fan of Night Before Christmas either. I'm like, don't tell May. But like, I never watched it until I went to college, so I don't have like that like nostalgia. I know for a lot of people my age grew up watching it, right? And so like I didn't see it until way later. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I've never been a huge fan of it, but I've always loved Zero because, like I said, a ghost
I
dog.
love the
How can
music.
you not
I love
love
the
a ghost
music from it though. It's
and
phenomenal
a
music.
little pumpkin nose? I mean, how can
It
you?
is, yeah, I know that's so
Yeah.
cute.
But yeah, luckily, he didn't go off when he fell, so I was thankful for that. That was at least one thing that went right tonight. But
There you go.
they went good. It was just the start went a little rocky, but
I know. I was like, all of us having problems. I was like,
yeah.
what's
I was
happening?
like, let's just hope we make it through the hour, and we did. So I'm thankful for
Yay.
that. And I'm thankful for anyone who tuned in tonight. I'm thankful for our guest. And Kyrra, I'm going to go ahead and let you do the first closing part.
All right. Thanks so much for listening, everyone. And as always, stay spooky.
Yeah. And thank you, everyone, for the support. Please remember, always support local. If you're wanting to do a ghost tour, make sure they are local. I can't say that enough. Look us up at TucsonGhostCompany.com. You can basically find me on all social media. And we have 2 more podcasts, one on the 22nd and one on the 29th. And then we are going to be taking a break for the month of October. I'm not sure when we will come back. I haven't figured out those dates yet, but 2 more podcasts and then a break, just to let everyone know. But until we are back on the 22nd, remember, you are never truly alone. Good night, everyone.